Hello and welcome to your NBL Round 11 preview. Thanks to Dabble, I'm Steph Baumgartel, joined by Pete Hooley to go through all of this round's talking points. And it all begins with our Ignite Cup clash between the New Zealand Breakers and the Sydney Kings. Halls, how important would this fever break have been for these two teams, both looking to build on some momentum with wins in the week prior?
Yeah, I mean, the Sydney Kings right now, everybody thinks they're championship contenders, which they thought they were in the off-season. They've had a bit of a stumbling start to the season, but they've got all their big guns firing. Kendrick Davis, Bull Cole's playing really good, Xavier Cook. So this is big for them. And New Zealand Breakers, yes, it was a fever break, but a lot of them represented their country playing against Australia, played very well. So we'll see how fresh they are.
The Breakers have been dominating in the Ignite Cup games. The Kings, not quite so much. Do you think that comes into play in this match?
I think it absolutely does. Yes, the Kings want to win now because they're out of the Ignite Cup just to get up the ladder of the regular season. New Zealand Breakers 2-0 in the Ignite Cup. Parker Jackson-Cartwright spoke about the 400k up for grabs is motivating them. So they also want to get up into 6th spot as well. So this is a big price for New Zealand Breakers at home. I like it.
Now the Kings are without Dellavedova. They're also without Sean Bruce for this matchup. How much does that hurt them?
It hurts them a lot because obviously New Zealand Breakers, they have Isaiah Brockington, but they have Parker Jackson-Cartwright. Now they do have Jalen Galloway. They do have Bull Quoll. They're going to have to figure out how to stop because Parker Jackson-Cartwright is just lightning quick. Kendrick Davis is going to have to play on both ends a whole lot more in this game, but this will be a fun one to kick off round 11.
On Thursday night, we have two teams that know each other very well by now. We've got the Perth Wildcats playing Melbourne United. Halls, the last time these two teams met, it was a tough win for United. Do you think Perth will put them through their paces once again?
I think they will. Again, I'm really high on the Perth Wildcats. I know you are too. The fever break would have done them well to get some guys rested and healthy. Christian Doolittle's been terrific. I know the last time they met right before the break began, it ended up being a double-digit win for Melbourne United. That's not how the game played out. It was really 1 or 2 buckets. It blew out late with some free throws. And anytime you have these two teams meet, we know it's an exciting one, and I expect nothing different.
Now, the NBL put out their team report cards during the break. United got an A+. Can you find a fault with this United fit-out?
Not right now, right? It's hard to find a fault. Yes, they've lost 2 games. They've won a couple of close ones, but you look at every box, they're ticking it right now. They've got depth. They're defensively sound. They're still missing Shea Ili, who's been out. When he comes back, what does that mean for them? Chris Golding in the starting lineup. Walker, Milton Doyle, Jesse Edwards, the best 3 import trio in the league. They tick all the right boxes, but I expect Perth to start doing the same very soon.
Now, Perth lost Jaron Riley a couple of weeks ago. His emergence was so important for the team. David Duke Jr. had to then come out of position as well. Do you think that the Wildcats spent a little bit of time over the break looking for a different solution there?
I think so, right? Because Jaron Riley, no one expected him to be their starting point guard solution, but he has been. He's still recovering from a hamstring injury. So when he comes back, he'll slot straight back into that. But in the meantime, it's Ben Henshaw, Elijah Pepper, maybe even Sunday Detch going to Chris Golding. But I expect a whole lot more David Duke Jr. trying to run this team. But in the end, if the Wildcats want to win, not just this game, they want to win a championship, it's Doolittle, Windler and JLA.
On Friday night, the Adelaide 36ers take on the Bullets at home. Now, Halls fans will be thinking that this is an easy win for the 36ers, but do you think the Bullets will look a little different after the break?
They will look a completely different team. Again, they bring in Terry Taylor, who is a beast. He's got the NBA pedigree. I'm looking forward to that. That is a massive price for Brisbane. Yes, on the road, it's a tough place to play in Adelaide, but maybe the biggest acquisition for the break, not Javon Freeman-Liberty, not Terry Taylor. Sam McDaniel is back, and he's an elite defender, he's an elite we can find in this league. So he'll go straight to Bryce Cotton, and that could be anyone's game.
Speaking of Terry Taylor, do you think we see the best of him, or do you think that's still to come a bit later in the season?
A new import to the league, always be wary. It can take some time to adjust. Not everybody's Bryce Hamilton from the Tasmania Jack Jumpers who just comes in and dominates straight away. I expect he will. It might take a couple of weeks, but Javon Freeman-Liberty, on the other hand, he's been here. He went away for 6 weeks to work on his own mental health. He's coming back with a point to prove, and I tell you what, that is a massive price for Brisbane.
Now, the Adelaide 36ers, their rotation has been ever-changing this season. Do you think that helps or hinders them, Halls?
Oh, it hinders them for sure. I think Mike Wells, the head coach, has to figure it out sooner rather than later. You've got a whole lot of talent, a lot of depth. You've got to figure out who's going to play, who's going to be unlucky in some games. DJ Vasiljevic might just be able to be a 6th Man of the Year candidate. But in the end, I expect the Adelaide 36ers to show their championship contending pedigree and get it done. But it's not going to be as easy as this suggests.
Speaking of DJ, he's been absolutely firing as of late after a bit of a slower start to the season for him. How much emphasis do the Bullets need to put on DJ versus Cotton? They've got to worry about both.
They do, and again, we've seen that, right, with the Adelaide 36ers against the Phoenix before the break started. If you put all your emphasis on Bryce Cotton, then DJ Vasiljevic is going to get open shots and knock him down. So that's a good problem for Adelaide to have, and Brisbane have to figure it out because there's more weapons than just the 5-time MVP.
Sunday delivers us another throwdown with the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix hosting Melbourne United. Halls Phoenix have admitted they're still working towards a full 40-minute game How much will that hurt them against United?
Well, so far we've seen every time they've been injured as well, that's hurt them. They have not beaten the top two teams yet. They've been smacked around by Melbourne the first two times they've played and smacked around by the 36ers. You look at Angus Glover, he played throughout the FIBA break for Australia, played a whole lot of minutes. They were missing Hunter Maldonado. Owen Foxall had to pull out of Boomer's stuff because of injuries. So they're a bit battered and bruised coming up against the Melbourne team who, anytime they see a green jersey in front of them, they know it's the throwdown, they know big brother, little brother, it always means more to them.
United is still without Shea Yearley. Nathan Sobey, on the other hand, for Phoenix, very much still firing. Does it fall to Tyson Walker to plug that there?
I think it does. Tyson Walker, he's been terrific. Right now, if I had to list the top 5 MVP candidates, which I did over the break, I've got Tyson Walker in there. I think arguably he's the most important piece to Melbourne United, especially while Shea Yearley is out.
Now, it's been a long time rivalry. We've seen things brew up and boil over it sometimes. Do you think this will be a fiery one?
It normally is in some way, shape or form, either on the court or off the court. There's a lot of social media antics, but I love it. This is the whole beauty of having an interstate rivalry. This will be a good game, but I fully expect Melbourne United to flex their muscles once again. And the Phoenix, they're going to win one of these throwdowns sooner rather than later. Maybe it's on Sunday.
Well, it should be a fun one. There's plenty of other action happening around the league as well. Bryce Cotton will also head to Perth for the very first time since he's a part of the club, so lots to look out for. But that is all from us for our Round 11 preview. Thanks to Dabble. We'll see you next week.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.